Good morning, class. Today we're going to be learning about the usage of the BattleTab in PvPoke. So, hope you guys have your notebooks ready. Hope you have a nice seat because it's time for a lesson. BattleTab is basically where a lot of people use information to simulate battles between Pokemon. With that said, start with the settings because the settings is one of the best places to start for our Pokemon. Now, the reason why I say that is because if you guys look at the settings, there are two choices for default Pokemon preferences. There's the typical IVs and there's maximum stat product. When you guys click on it, it will drag down. It's not pulling up on my screen because it's just reading the whatever, but trust me, when you guys do this, it will work for you. So when you guys click, you guys can choose. And I would suggest, in general, this maximum stat product, you guys should use this whenever you guys are planning and playing for Master League, Premier Cup, Great League, and possibly Silph tournaments. And the reason why I say this is because a lot of people that play in Master League, they have hundos. And same thing with Premier Cup. They're going to use the best Pokemons that they have. So they're going to be really close, if not at the hundo, right? The higher rating you go up, the more likely they're going to have the hundos there. Okay. Now, with that said, I want to have the maximum stat product because if you guys are using Pokemon in Great League, it is the most popular form of PvP, and therefore most people are going to have the most amount of Pokemon ready there. Silph tournaments are all inside Great League status, so the amount of Pokemon that are going to be good and sought after are going to be there. If you guys are planning to make your team for Ultra League, though, I would run typical IVs about rank 500. And the reason why is because Ultra League is not super popular as far compared to the other two forms of PvP. And there are a lot of players out there, really good players, that just use it to shiny flex on others. So they don't have the best IVs. I'm going to use the maximum stat product variant just to make our life a little bit easier for as we follow along. Okay. Now, when we talk about battle, you guys can get to the battle screen by hitting right here or up here. So let's say if I went to train, the battle's still up there, or you guys can enter from the beginning and click battle. Now, when you guys go to a battle, you guys can choose which league you want to battle for. Great League, Ultra League, Master League, Single Battle, Multi-Battle, or Matrix Battle. Don't worry too much about it. The main things you guys care about is looking at the Single Battle and looking at the league that you are aiming for. I just got a new Pokemon today. I'm kind of excited. You guys can just fill out the Pokemon's name. So right now, because we have inside our settings as the maximum stat product, we hit save. Now when we look at what we're going to battle against, all the Pokemon listed here are going to be the rank 1 variant of that Pokemon, right? So this Azumarill right here is the 8, 15, 15. This is a rank 1 Azumarill, okay? And whatever we put in here, it will be for that. So now if you look at Farfetch'd, if you put space, you guys can look at the Galarian version and you can see what moves are suggested. If you guys are looking up the calculators, sometimes you might not have the best Pokemon. Sometimes you guys don't have a rank 1. Sometimes you guys do have the rank 1. But if you guys want to look at how the battle will work for your specific Pokemon, you guys can just plug in the numbers by hitting this advanced stats and IV product. You guys see that? When I open this tab, it shows me what numbers here. So the rank 1 Farfetch is 0, 15, 15. So today I caught a pretty good Farfetch'd. And if we look at it, this right here should be rank 33. If I look at the numbers when I hit appraise, it is a 5, 14, 15. So when I am putting in my numbers, so 5, 14, 15, we're going to remember that. When we go over here, this is 5, 14, 15. Now you notice this is over 1500, so we're going to have to lower the level to match the CP limit. Now, when you guys open up the advanced stats, you can actually plug in the exact Pokemon you are using. And this will help you when you guys hit certain breakpoints or not. Put the Pokemon we have. We're going to choose the moves we have. I don't have any moves on yet, but we will change them to whatever is good. And then later, you guys can click battle. So if I see my Farfetch going up against a rank 1 Azumarill, what happens here? You click battle, right? So in a one shield situation, I get wrecked Rank 1 Azumarill, my Farfetch will lose even while using Leaf Blade because my Farfetch doesn't have the right stats. Now, if I deleted these numbers and went to the rank 1, oh, well, we got stuffed either way. Well, it's good to know because sometimes the matchups do change based off of the numbers. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. But if I did want my Farfetch to win against this Azumarill, I probably would need some type of energy lead or usage of 2 shields. So we keep that in mind whenever we use it. If you guys look at these settings, there's the advanced settings where we can put our Pokemon in, like I showed you. But there's also things that we can include. So you guys see the stat modifiers? This is if we get a boost or don't get a boost. So let's say if someone enters in on us, but we power up punch on a different Pokemon. One power up punch, you can calculate how much attack you will have at that point. You guys have 2 power up punches, same idea, or a night slash boost or whatever. You guys can mess around with the modifiers right here. Inside the options, because you guys can set where your HP started at and where the energy is. So let's say you have the Farfetch and they swap in their Azumarill. Say we got 3 Fury Cutters to start with. We can just click this button 1, 2, 3 times, and it'll show us that we have 3 energy worth of Fury Cutters, right? Some of you guys that complain about like, oh, but what about the shielding scenarios? Take this off, then you will never bait with the lower energy move. So it shows you what the matchup would be as if you don't bait ever. Right here, this is baiting, no baiting. This tells you how much energy go up, or you can manually put in numbers yourself. Same thing with your starting HP. Now, this thing is nice because it tells you how many moves they'll get in and how much energy each move is as it goes across. And it tells you what will happen and when the shields pop up. The speed, you can make the symbols different, but that's pretty nice. The parts that matter is where you guys read the charts. Let's look at the charts. 500 is an even match setting. Whenever the numbers tilt in a different manner, then it shows you who will win. So if you guys look at this, 0 shield, Farfetch loses. 1 shield, 1 shield, Farfetch loses. 2 shield, 2 shield, Farfetch will win. If you guys put 2 shields like this, wait, what the fluff? Am I supposed to bait? Why does it say the? That's a little weird. So Farfetch. Oh wait, why did it say six? Why did I read it wrong? Ah, wait, I changed. Oh yeah, this is debuffed. Law. Let me change the settings back to normal. We'll cut that part out. So this is how we read the graph. So when you guys are looking at the graph, this graph tells you what the win situations and the win scenarios are. In a 0 shield, a 0 shield, Azumarill wins. In a 1 shield, Azumarill heavily wins. In a 2 shield, Azumarill heavily wins. Farfetch uses 1 shield, Azumarill uses none. Farfetch wins. It's a 2 shield to a 1 shield. Farfetch should win. And right here, there are even stats, no debuffs, anything like that. In a 2 shield and 2 shield situation, our boy Farfetch can win the matchup. Numbers tell you the rating out of, like, you know, if it's 500, that means it's pretty even. And if it's below 500, your Pokemon over here loses. If it's above 500, your Pokemon over here will win, right? So Farfetch can win if it shields once and the Azumarill doesn't shield. You can win if it shields twice in every situation, but it will always lose if it no shields. This is how you read this little graph. We talked about breakpoints and bulk points before, but just to go over it again, it tells you what stats you need. The one that guarantees the number that you guys care about more to hit that breakpoint, right? If we had less than 89 defense, would take 7 damage instead of 6 damage per bubble. Something to point out. You guys read the graphs. It tells you the exact numbers. Oh, the total damage done from Azumarill to Farfetch and Farfetch to Azumarill. how much fast move damage there is, how much charge move damage there is. If you guys blocked, how much damage do you block? That's all nice and dandy. But the main things you guys have to worry about is this little chart here to understand how many shields you need to use. And you guys can look over here to see how it works as well. Make sure we know how to input our numbers. Make sure we input whether or not we bait. If you guys do have stat modifiers, that you guys account for them. Let's say we did a 2 shield scenario. No stat modifiers. The Farfetch I use, and I battle, and I win. Now this is a 27 HP, 0 energy Farfetch left. You guys can click continue battling to see if, the next guy that comes in will have an easy time farming it down. Situation, 27 HP. Reggie still wins, but we will get to 1 leaf blade before we die. Oh wait, why does it give us a shield? We have to make sure we click no shield. Right? So we will at least get to a leaf blade before we die. The Registeel, though, will bring us down to 14 HP, and it'll get chunked 1/4 of its life. Here is what you guys want to look at when you guys are using the battle tool, and that's how you guys use the battle tool the best. This part we want to look at is the planning ahead. It's nice to see the different matchups. You guys can get that off just looking at these numbers right here. One of the strongest ways you can use the battle tool when you guys make a team is to figure out how you want to use your shields inside a lead scenario. I'm going to go to the settings because I want to look at Ultra Lead just to explain the situation. Right? When you guys have certain leads, you want to figure out whether or not it's smart to shield or not to shield, and how many shields should be used. So let's say you want to use a Gyarados in Ultra League for each common matchup. Let's say it's Cresselia, let's say it's Giratina, let's say it's Swampert, and let's say it's Registeel. So you would use this thing in every situation. Battle, you don't care about the exact specifics, but you guys look right here. If you 1 shield, you can win. If you 2 shield, you don't always win. If you no shield, you always lose. So inside this type of situation, when you guys are using Gyarados, if you look at it here, if you use 1 shield, they use 1 shield, you barely lose. If you use 1 shield, they use 2 shield. Force them to use a shield if they want to win if you use 1 shield. So against Cresselia, because of the fact that you lose pretty hard, because of the fact that 2 shields doesn't even guarantee you'll win, when you're leading as Gyarados against Cresselia, to me, it seems like the best idea is to always use your shield, because that either forces the opposing Cresselia to use a shield of its own. Not only that, if you click on it and you see the 1 shield versus 1 shield, you'll notice that the Cresselia only has 15 HP left and no energy. That means you can farm down on your next Pokemon. It means that whenever you guys go into Ultra League, you use Gyarados as a lead. You know what your game plan is beforehand, and it makes it easier for you to adapt to the battles. You know that against a Cresselia, no matter what, you're going to use 1 shield, because either you're going to get a shield advantage and switch advantage, or you lose it, but you can farm down the Cresselia on whatever Pokemon you want because they'll have no energy and very low HP. You want to make sure you use the BattleTab to plan for different things. I just showed you the Gyarados versus Cresselia because that Cresselia is a common lead. If you guys want to look for other leads like Escavalier or whatever, you guys would do the same thing. You click on it, you look at the matchups here. Look it. If you 0 shield, you win, but then later look at the other situations. You decide, should I always double shield? Should I always single shield? Should I never shield? What's the best answer? You figure that out by looking at this little chart right here, and you can click on any single one of these bubbles to see what the end result is by playing a specific manner. Okay? So that's what we wanted to get to today. We wanted to make sure that you guys, know how to use the BattleTab, and you guys know how to mess with your settings. So to review, settings on the side, you guys can mess with what their stats are, and you want to change accordingly depending on what type of league you're battling in. Second, you want to make sure that you customize your mons for the ones that you are actually playing. If you don't have a rank 1 Farfetch, you don't want to see the rank 1 Farfetch. And finally, for the advanced settings, you want to make sure you guys look at how the graphs look when you guys are fighting different Pokemon. You guys can check this chart out here and make sure you know how to read it. Okay, so plan ahead for when you are battling. Plan ahead for how you guys want to do things, and make sure we use the battle tools to the most efficiency. I'd like to thank PvPoke for allowing me to use their website as a tool and giving this to the community so that everyone knows how to plan ahead when they battle. Okay, guys, I took up a good amount of your time. I know you guys have other classes to get to. Class is dismissed. I'll see you guys next period.